Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be looking at a whole heap of beautiful cards. You see, I told you previously about GX Ultra Shiny. And the thing about GX Ultra Shiny is that there are lots and lots and lots of secret rares. To be blunt, there's like 100 secret rares. And we know what a bunch of them are. So what I'm going to do in this video is very quickly run through the ones that we know about. And I'm going to show them to you. And we're going to look at how beautiful they are. And I'm going to show you which card is actually being reprinted here. So I'll give you an English scan, where possible, next to the Japanese card. Where we've not had an English card, I'll tell you what they do. It's going to be a bit of a rapid fire, because these have been revealed on Rappelman TCG, although most of them did come from Primal Lugia on Twitter, and you know by now we're a fan of that lovely dude. So, yeah, let's roll through them. We are getting Shiny Zoroark GX. Doesn't need much of an introduction. It's been at the center of the format for a long time. It's great. We're getting a new Full Art Guzma. Here's what the other Full Art Guzma looked like. Here's what the new one looks like. It's a gusting effect. It's played in every single deck. We are getting gold cards, ladies and gentlemen. Gold cards. We're getting the Tapus. This is Golden Tapu Bulu. Yeah, this is not going to be a cheap card by any stretch of the imagination. It's pretty good in Vikavolt decks, if anybody's wondering. We are getting a new Full Art Cynthia. You can see the old Full Art Cynthia on the screen. The new one is a billion times better because it's got Garchomp in the image. I adore this. We're getting the secret rare Shining Mewtwo. Look, I'm not a huge fan of Mewtwo GX. It's seen a little bit of play here and there, but I don't think it's particularly great. Oh, look. Golden Tapu Koko. Golden Tapu Koko is beautiful. Tapu Koko is going to be much better with Naganadel. The new one, I'll pop a link to that video in the description because we've looked at this previously. We're getting Full Art Ether Foundation Employee. It lets you take 3 Pokemon with Alolan in the names and put it into your hand. Not going to see a huge amount of play initially. Oh, look. Gold Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele is a phenomenal card that lets you search for supporters. If anybody thinks this is going to be any less than a redonkulously expensive card, I'm afraid you're mistaken. Shining Zygarde. Again, Zygarde's seen a little bit of play here and there, and we've actually seen this shiny before. It's alright. Shining Bayonet. Bayonet is a really good card. It's seen a lot of play with Zoroark. It's got a GX attack that can recover any cards. That's good. Now we're also seeing a lot of non-GXs getting shiny versions. Here's Kirlia. What they've tended to do is take evolving Pokemon, where the fully evolved card is really good, and given us a shiny version of the pre-evolution. This Kirlia is beautiful. Speaking of which, Poipole. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Because you see, we know that Naganedel's a really good card. So we need Poipole. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is a shiny Poipole. We're getting a Full Art Hiker. Hiker's a card which finally came out in Celestial Storm. It's not a particularly good card. It's not seeing much play at all. Shiny Drampa. Drampa was really big for quite a long time back when Garbodor first came out. It's seen play here and there. It's a decent colourless Pokemon, but it's gone away. Full Art Evelyn. We looked at Evelyn the other day. Evelyn is the one that you can only play if your opponent's got a stage 1 in the active, but it lets you draw 4 cards, which is nice. Shiny Charizard we've looked at before. Charizard GX is not a good card. It's not seeing any play, but this card is going to have an obscene amount of value because it's Charizard. Shiny Altaria GX. If you watched my opening of Dragon Majesty, I pulled a bunch of these. It's not a good card, but it's beautiful. Shiny Golisopod, this has fallen a little bit out of favour, but it's seen play with Zoroark. It's been a good card for a while. Shiny Naganadel. This is the GX Naganadel, which has seen quite a bit of play with Stakataka, and it's beautiful. Shiny Oranguru. Now, weirdly enough, there are two playable Orangarus. This is the one with Instruct. Draw till you've got 3 cards in hand. It's a staple in so many decks. Oh, you know how we looked at Curlier earlier? Here's Gardevoir. Gardevoir is flicking in and out of the top decks, but it's still a good card, and this is the most beautiful version of it. Shiny Decidueye. This because of Alolan Ninetales being able to search out any 2 item cards when you evolve up. This is gonna come back into the format. Shintaro Ito made a good deck with this. I'll pop a link in the description. The shiny version is great. Shiny Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh's fallen out of favour a little bit, but it's still a really good card with Kiawe. Shiny Alolan Ninetales, annoyingly not the good one. It's alright, it's seen a bit of play, but the fairy one's the really good one here. Shiny Umbreon GX, incidentally this is the shiny GX I want the most. I don't think we're getting shiny Beware GX, and I don't think we're getting shiny Snorlax GX, ergo, this is my boy. Look how beautiful he is. It's not a great card, but look how beautiful he is. Shiny Lycanroc GX, I mean this is one of the best cards in the format. It's great with Buzzwole, it's great with Zoroark, it's gonna be great. Speaking of which, Shiny Buzzwole GX, yeah that's gonna be expensive. Full Art Ingo and Emmet. Now we did a video on Ingo and Emmet the other day, I'll pop a link in the description. You get to look at the top card of your deck and then draw 5 cards either from the top or from the bottom. I think it's a good card that's going to see a lot of play. Shiny Sizzle GX. This is another one of these which it's cool, but we could have done without. Sizzle GX is seeing almost no play. And then we've got the whole run of Magnezone. Now I know we have Magnezone in Lightning and Metal flavors, and it's literally the exact same card, other than typing, and then weakness and energy cost, obviously. This is the Metal one, and you get the pre-evolutions as well, which is awesome. You accelerate energy. Speaking of cards that I want very much indeed, it's Garchomp. Although annoyingly it's the Dragon one, and I prefer the Fighting one, which makes me really sad. But hey ho. You get the pre-evolutions as well, but the exciting thing is here, it's shiny Garchomp. It's just really annoying that it's the Dragon version, because the Fighting version is better. Seriously though, of all of the cards, the shiny ones we're seeing here, this is the one I probably like the most. I love Garchomp. Shiny Zorua. I mean look, we've got shiny Zoroark, so we need shiny Zorua to go along with it. So it's kind of nice that we've got this here. Yay, etc. And then we see some shiny Ultra Beasts here, which are just over the top beautiful. We've got Xurkitree, we've got Guzzlord, we've got Kartana, we've got Celesteela, all of which, I mean, they're all interesting cards. They're not seeing a huge amount of play, to be 100% honest with you, although the Guzzlord, just because of how much damage it can do, is always going to be one you got to keep in mind. But in terms of cards I'm not a huge fan of, that I want just because they're amazing, look at the Guzzlord, ladies and gentlemen. Then we've got the non-GX Buzzwole, which is just as good as, and is seeing just as much play as the GX, so it's only fair that that gets the shiny as well. And speaking of weird choices, Diancie from Burning Shadows. It was briefly a card in Gardevoir that everyone got bored of. It's one of the weirder choices here. We then see Quagsire. Oh, look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how happy he is. I adore the art here. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Quagsire, but I love the artwork on this card. We get shiny Metagross GX. This is a card that comes in and out. It's here and there. Shiny Lucario, again, this seems to be a card which is being printed because the card is popular, rather than because it's actually a good card. It is the one from Ultra Prism, whereby you can search for any card once per turn if you've got Garchomp on the field, so at least you've got Garchomp and Lucario, both of them as shiny cards here, which is rather nice indeed. If you want to play that deck, you can now make it super expensive. We got shiny Rayquaza, but we actually knew about this one before. We'd seen it before. Shiny Frogadier. That's right, Frogadier. The one with a really nice ability that drops 2 damage counters. Shiny Fisherman, which, I mean, it's Fisherman, right? It gets cards, energy cards back from your discard. I say shiny, I of course mean full art. It's a very pretty card. We've got shiny Noivern here. Noivern's one of those cards that everyone expects to be good, and a lot of us blame Double Dragon Energy for the fact that it isn't. Is that the reason? Might be. We see shiny Shuppet here. Again, we got shiny Bayonet, so we do need shiny Shuppet to go along with it here. And it's better than the regular artwork. We see shiny Altaria. Altaria, it's just a decent card. It means that your Dragon Pokemon do an extra 20 damage. It's nice to have the shiny version. There is a shiny Voltorb here. That's right. But remember, the ones where we get the evolutions, it seems like we're getting the pre-evolutions as well. And this seems to be the Voltorb, which, well, it's alright. It's got free retreat if there's any energy attached to it, if that's what you're into. And we see Gold Lunala GX. I know, right? It's essentially the Tapus and the Legendaries. They're the ones that are getting GXs here. I mean, it's pretty cool. Lunala's seen almost no play, to be honest with you. People play around with it here or there. It's not been great. Oh no, wait! This is the new Lunala GX. Still not particularly good, if I'm honest with you. Sorry. We see Gold Solgaleo, and this is good. This is a great card, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the one that removes weakness from your Pokemon and 120 for a double colorless energy while accelerating. I'm just waiting for this to be good. Xurkitree GX sees a little bit of play here and there because you can give your opponent an extra prize. Now we have a shiny version. Articuno, it's not seen a huge amount of play. It's not a great card, but Articuno is very popular. We see Gold Ultra Necrozma. Now, we've actually had this card because this was released in Dragon Majesty, so this is not a particularly surprising one for us. We've got Shining Lucario GX. Goes along very nicely with the non-GX Lucario. This has seen quite a bit of play with Zoroark. It's a good card. Shiny Electrode GX. I've made a few videos about Electrode. The ability that accelerates energy while knocking itself out has so much potential. I'm just waiting for someone to break it. Shiny Espeon. Now, Espeon has fallen out of favour, but it saw a lot of play with Garbodor and it could well make a comeback one day. We've got a full art version here of Nita, which is the one, it only works if your opponent has a basic in the active. But if your opponent's got a basic in the active, you can shuffle an energy from their active back into their deck, which is quite nice. We've got Secret Rare Greninja, which, I mean, it drops 3 damage counters when you evolve up. People are going to keep playing around with it. We see shiny Darkrai GX. This was a really good deck for a little while. It went along with the Darkrai from Breakpoint. You get it back from the discard, you recover energy. It looked so good. Completely fell out of favour. We see shiny Stack Attacker, which as previously mentioned goes well with Naganadel. And now there's shiny versions of both of those, so go nuts. We see shiny Nihilego here. The ability at least is great, automatic poison and confusion. We see shiny Cyver here, which again is a weird choice until you remember that actually we're getting Sizzle, so we kind of need Cyver. But honestly, it's still one of the weirder choices for me. The secret rare shiny Sylveon GX, I'm going to be honest with you, this is going to be one of the ones that is nuts expensive. The value of this is going to go through the roof. We see a shiny version of Kartana. This sees a bit of play because a GX attack draws a card and the ability gets rid of your opponent's energy. We see a full art version of Dana. That's the one, if your opponent's got a stage 2 in the active, you can search your deck for any 2 cards. Nice, but awkward to use. We see a shiny Reshiram. Reshiram's alright, I do like the GX attack here, but it's another one of those, it's a fan favourite, we had to have it. Shiny Guzzlord GX. Again, it's Meme Lord, right? You've got to have a shiny Guzzlord GX. Still no one's ever managed to break this card, but I live in hope. And you never know, Nanu could be the thing that makes it great. I'll pop a link in the description. Shiny Glaceon, it's not been great, but it's seen a bit of play. It blocks abilities. Golden Tapu Fini, it's probably the worst of the Tapu cards, to be honest. It has seen a bit of play, but it's probably the worst of the Tapus. But you know what? You gotta have gold Tapus. Secret Rare Viper does seem like an odd choice here. It increases poison damage, it sees like no play, although it's got potential. Shiny Type Null, of all things. It's alright. I mean, you need something to evolve into Silvally, I suppose, but I remain unconvinced by it. Shiny Froakie, I mean, look, we got the Frogadier and the Greninja. We kind of needed the Froakie. Had to be done, ladies and gentlemen. And we see Charmander. It's Charmander, right? It's Charmander. I wish I could give you more in-depth analysis, but how could we not have a Charmander? Rockruff here is, well, it's because we're getting a Lycanroc. The good news is it is actually the 70 HP Rockruff, which is the one of choice at the moment. We finally got a clear look at the Energy Evolution Eevee. This is a phenomenal card, which is a must in so many decks. We see Shining Swablu here. Again, we've got to have Shining Swablu because we've got Altaria. Shiny Noibat because we've got Noivern. Unfortunately, it's not actually the good Noibat. We do have a really good Noibat from Forbidden Light, which makes your opponent... Yeah, it's not this one. We've got Wimpod, which is the good one with Wimp out, which is quite nice. We've got Shiny Routes. I mean, again, we need the pre-evolutions here. We've got Charmeleon. At least it's a good one that can accelerate energy, which is quite nice. We see Pheromosa, the non-GX Pheromosa. I mean, look, we're just getting shiny versions of all of the non-GX Ultra Beasts. We get Leafeon here. Everyone wants to make the GX attack work. Nobody ever has. Turtonator. I mean, look, it's a good Pokemon that hits a lot of damage, but honestly, it's just not as good as stuff like Ho-Oh. We see the Roadblock Sudowoodo, which just remains a good card, especially in Expanded, as a bit of a check on Skyfield decks. We see shiny Lycanroc Dusk form. I mean, it's alright. The ability is a Team Flare Grunt when you evolve it, which is quite nice. And then finally, we see Silvally, which I mean you knew was coming because of Type Null. Silvally's been in and out. It's seen a bit of play here and there. It's out at the moment, but we got new memory cards recently, so maybe it will come back. And they're the ones that have been revealed so far. Yeah, there's a lot of them, ladies and gentlemen, but they're so beautiful, I wanted to show them to you. I ran through them quickly. I gave you a quick word about all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty gosh darned awesome. I love these. I think they're beautiful. So now I need you to get over to the comment section and tell me which one is your favorite. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv patreon.com/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio. That's where you can do that. And do make sure you're checking out my other channel, Wossy Plays, for some more Wossy action. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.